Hey, what's up guys, Snimmy Minotaur here. Yes, I am back from my very long break, and if you're hearing that in the background, well, this is one of the reasons to why I haven't uploaded in a good bit, because I'm actually currently recording this without power. So yay, I could still at the very least record without power. And also, I have been sick for over a week, so yay, this is great. I mean I'm finally back making videos, so yeah, let's just get back to our regularly scheduled programming here. So today I wanted to talk about something in which has been on my mind ever since these have been added in, and that is the brand new Fortnite cosmetics that have been added into the game. As a lot of people have been talking about this for the past few weeks now, ever since the beginning of chapter 5, and it has caused a lot of controversy, so let's just hop right into it. So as you all know, Fortnite actually introduced us to 3 brand new game modes. Now, I just gotta get this out of the way here. The least controversial one from what I've seen is the Lego one. The only thing that I've seen a lot of people complaining about are the very cursed looking skins. I mean, a lot of them just look really cursed. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about the other 2 game modes. So I'm just gonna hop right into it. Let's start off with Rocket Racing. This is basically the new racing game mode, and they decided to introduce us to a brand new types of cosmetics, which is basically car cosmetics. There's like decals you can put on, obviously car bodies, and also different tires you can do, which is pretty cool to see. Now there's a lot of free cosmetics you can get from here. Like one of them is actually like a free skin from getting to like gold rank 1, which is pretty cool. And there's a bunch of really cool things you can do with the cars, like customize the colors on them, pretty much on almost everything I believe, besides maybe the tires. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about the free stuff, because obviously the free stuff is totally fine. I mean, as I've just said, one of the free cosmetics is a skin. I'm actually talking about what Fortnite decided to do when it comes to the item shop, because how they've been handling the new cosmetics have been terrible. Because when they actually introduced us to the Rocket Racing game mode, they decided to give us 3 brand new car bundles, which these are the first cosmetics we've ever seen be added into the item shop in a very long time, which were like brand new types of cosmetics. And when these came out, they became really controversial, because I'm not kidding you, 2 of them, which were being sold in the item shop, were both 2,500 V-Bucks each, which is just an insane price. Like 2,500 V-Bucks for a car is insane. It's just like, yeah, sure, you can change the colors on them, but it's just like, what? The only things you can realistically do with them is use them in Rocket Racing and Battle Royale, which is pretty cool. You can use these in BR, but you can't use them pretty much anywhere else, which it just goes like, why would you buy this? Especially at the price of 2,500 V-Bucks. But this wasn't even the worst one. The worst one was this car on screen, which costed 4,000 V-Bucks. So if you wanted to buy all 3 of the car bundles that were released in the item shop at that time, by the way, it would have costed you 9,000 V-Bucks, which was just absolutely ridiculous. Why are you selling these cars at such arbitrary and just high prices? Like 9,000 V-Bucks total to buy all the cars is just absolutely ridiculous, and it just screams scam. As I feel like it's a huge scam if you bought any of these. And yes, people did buy them, which, I mean, listen, you can do what you want with your money, but I'm telling you this here, these were absolutely not worth it. Especially the 4,000 V-Buck one. Like, who in their right mind is going to buy a 4,000 V-Buck car when literally an 800 V-Buck skin that you can use basically in any game mode is more worth it? Like, that is just absolutely embarrassing. This got so much backlash. So many people were calling this a scam, absolute BS, to the point where Epic actually had to reduce the prices on all the cars now. But even at that, after reducing them, they're still very high. The 2,500 V-Buck cars are now 1,500, and the one that was 4,000 is now 2,500, which still is just not worth buying any of these cars. Especially in the Battle Pass, to where there is a car you can get for 950 V-Bucks by just grinding out the Battle Pass. Like, what's the point of even buying these in the item shop, really? And even at that, like the 2,500 V-Buck car, I can compare this to like the spray skins are much more worth it, and they are half the price, and yet you can use those in any game mode and not have any limitations on it than that stupid 2,500 V-Buck car. Like, these are just not worth it at all. But just like a Billy Mace commercial, but wait, there's more. We gotta talk about Fortnite Festival next, because they added even more new cosmetics into the game. And guess what? They got just as much backlash as the ones from Rocket Racing. So we gotta talk about this here. So they added brand new jam tracks. I'll talk about this here first. Essentially, these are musics that you can, like music tracks that you can actually use in Battle Royale as like emotes, which is really cool. You can do that. And also, I believe you can also use these in Fortnite Festival as like full tracks that you can actually use and play with in the game mode, which is pretty cool to see. Now, I actually would say that the jam tracks are probably my favorite cosmetics out of here because you can use them as emotes, which is really cool to see. But it's the way that Fortnite, as I've just said, how Fortnite has been handling them, and just with like the new cosmetics in general, was done terribly, because they are selling these in the item shop for 500 V-Bucks a pop, which is just absolutely ridiculous. In my opinion, I don't think these should be 500 V-Bucks. I think these should honestly be 300 or even 400 V-Bucks, because music packs are 200 V-Bucks, and yet there are so much half copyrighted music with them, and they're 200 V-Bucks. Why are they selling these for 500 is absolutely ridiculous. And not only that, they've been selling so many of them in the item shop. It's just so overwhelming, especially for people who collect cosmetics. I feel bad for these people because not only was it the car crap that they have to deal with, but now they gotta deal with these, which is just ridiculous. 500 V-Bucks for a track, which if you want one, go right ahead. I mean, I just recommend at least getting one or two of them. Don't buy all of these because they're just so not worth getting, especially for that arbitrary price at 500, which is just crazy. But this isn't even the worst thing about this whole thing when it comes to Fortnite Festival, because it gets even worse. Because they also decided to add instruments into Fortnite, which is pretty cool to see. But as I've just said, it's the way that they're handling them. They are selling these at 1,000 V-Bucks in the item shop, which is just crazy. Like, one instrument costs 50 more V-Bucks than the current battle pass, but it seems like they're going to be selling other instruments for even more than that price at 1,500. There's currently one in the item shop right now that's 1,500 V-Bucks, which is just absolutely crazy. Like, what are these prices, Epic? Like, these should not be this expensive. Like, these are so not worth picking up either. While they look pretty cool, I will say that it's just not worth picking up. So much so that we also have a new festival pass which introduced us to the Weekend in Fortnite, which is pretty cool to see him in Fortnite. But in the item shop, he has 2 instruments in his bundle, which has buffed up the price if you want to buy everything in his bundle to 3,500, which is just absolutely crazy. I think the instruments should honestly be 500 V-Bucks in my opinion. Like, they should not be as expensive as they are, because you shouldn't have to be forced to buy that whole bundle essentially if you want to get the skin or like the emote, which I just only picked up the emote as of right now because, like, obviously I'm an icon collector. I do collect the icon emotes, but it's just like, why would I buy the whole bundle when literally 2 of the cosmetics are restricted to certain game modes? Like, that just makes no sense to me. But we gotta talk about the festival pass here, because this is also not worth picking up, because this is basically the same thing as the event passes that we've had in the past, like with Star Wars and Jujutsu Kaisen, but this is more expensive at, instead of 1,000 V-Bucks as they originally were, at 1,800, and you get less stuff to use. Like, what is that? Sure, you get the weekend skin as one of the premium areas that you get as one of the last rewards, but it's just not worth it. Like, what even is that price at 1,800? Like, this is more expensive, and yet you don't get as much stuff as you do when it came to like the other ones, which were way less. Like, literally the Star Wars one gave you 6 skins, for God's sake. This has actually caused a lot of backlash, not only between all of these, that people have been complaining about the prices being so overpriced, but even at that, I've heard rumors that the Fortnite Festival Pass could potentially be added into the Fortnite crew, which I actually think would be a really good idea for them to do that, because listen, the Fortnite crew needs a little bit more of an upgrade than how it has been doing recently, because the only things that realistically are keeping people subscribed to it, like those weird edit styles that they've been adding in for like all the skins now, which is just very odd that they're doing that. But I do think adding in like the Festival Pass and some other things, like other benefits from the other game modes into here, I think would actually be a really good benefit for people to buy the Fortnite crew and make it even more worth it than it already is. Like, don't get me wrong, Fortnite crew is already great, but I do think adding in some of these cosmetics into there would actually be a really good idea. But overall, the new cosmetics, I gotta be honest with you here, don't waste your money on this. I mean, you can if you want to. I'm not gonna make you do it or not, because at the end of the day, it is your decision. But as somebody who does spending sprees, I'm telling you this here, and spends money money on the game, a lot of these are just not worth picking up. I really don't think they are. And that's a damn shame because I was really excited to see all these new cosmetics be added into the game, but it's the way that Epic has been handling them has been horrible. I do hope we get to see change at some point with these, and I really hope there's a bright future for these cosmetics because there's a lot of potential with them, especially with the jam tracks. But overall, it's just sad on how Epic has been handling them, and I really hope that in the future we do get to see some new change for the better. But ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's video. I really hope you all enjoyed. If you did happen to enjoy this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to check out my Twitter, aka my X account, still start all on screen. Thank you all so much for watching. I love every single one of you. Remember everyone, it's always good to take chances.